Well, India needs to be prepared because there could be an opportunity here. There could also be a precedent where India is going to not agree to everything what the Americans have to say. But the fact of the matter is we are better off dealing with America positively than we are establishing any kind of a negative rapport that may harm us in countering China and becoming perhaps the third or the second largest economy in the next few years. We need the Americans, don't we?
Yeah, needless to say, this is a very complex situation. There is no straight answer. So everything that you said, Vineet, is absolutely true. We need America. If anyone is saying that we don't need them, that's not true at all. We need to grow fast, and for that, US is important for us. Unfortunately, if you look at it the other way around, we are only about 5% of exports from US. Even though I'm saying 5%, that's still very significant from an economic terms. Now, in terms of economic blocks, we are actually number fourth because there is ahead of us there is China and Europe, and only then we come in. So there is US, China, Europe, and then we come in because Europe behaves like a block. It is one economic block, and so for quite some time we will not become the third largest economic block. We may be the third largest economy, but not the economic block. And we do need to have access to these markets. We need the European market, we need the American market, and if possible, we need to crack open the Chinese market the way China has cracked open the Indian market, and we allow everything from China to come in. But you try and sell anything to China, that's very, very difficult unless it's a raw material. They will only buy raw material, and therefore India behaves like a colony in front of China. And so coming back to the US issue, if you look at the trade deals that US has cracked till now, they've all been beneficial to US from the Trump administration perspective. They've been able to access the European Union market at zero duty while they have imposed a 15% tariff on imports from US. Same with the Thai deal, same with the Vietnam deal, and so on and so forth. So it's from the US administration perspective, they seem to be on a winning streak. Is that good for the US economy is a different question altogether. I will not touch it in this particular discussion. But from an Indian perspective, therefore, we can't afford to stay away for long. However, if we jump in the terms and conditions that the US is laying out, please do keep in mind that we'll be signing the agreement for not just 1 year or 2 year, but for generations. So the next generations will come in and curse us as to why we signed this one-sided agreement. Why did we put our farmers under the bus and ignore them completely? Why did we ignore our MSMEs completely? So it is not just a signing of a 1 year, 2 year agreement, it's a generational signing that happens. In addition, any new FTA that India signs will take our concessions to the US as the baseline and then will take things forward, which means that we start losing everything. For every other FTA, we have to open up our agricultural market, we have to open up our dairy market, we have to have zero duty imports allowed, and so on and so forth. So that is clearly not an acceptable proposition. But what does India do? As you rightly said, India can't say we won't do this and we won't do that because that's a framework that the US has laid out. So it is a complex situation. We need to work through it calmly. Even with smaller entities like Maldives, we did not hit back at them. We were very, very patient. It has paid off. I'm sure patience would probably pay off with the US. I have full faith in the negotiators of this government. I'm sure they'll come out with a deal which will overall be beneficial for the people of our country.
Absolutely right. And Dr. Kohli, the Prime Minister also spoke just a few days back. We are not going to discontinue buying oil from Russia.